party this morning was executed by a group of about 150 militants. It's reported that they wanted to loot the armory before they were repulsed.
More than 100 attackers believed to be from the Somalia-based Al-Shabaab militia descended on Diff police station, targeting to kill police officers manning the station. The militia are then said to have entered the station, making away with an unknown number of firearms from the armory. Police sources...
Hivi ninavyozungumza hapa nilipo, kilemba peke yake ndiyo changu, lakini bunduki, nguo za kijeshi ni yule ambaye
This video from ITV shows the handiwork of Somalia-based Al-Shabaab militants who attacked a Kenyan Defense Forces base in Somalia at about 5 a.m.
Of course, serving in Somalia comes with its own bag of challenges. There was this one time when one of our military bases was attacked in a place called Baure. And what happened is that one of the fighters, or rather the second in command, was a British jihadist called Evans Thomas, and was killed by the KDF troops in there. So he was the one filming every activity that was happening there. What was of interest to me was the fact that among the IEDs that they filmed themselves making was a rocket mortar. And they realized that the rocket mortar that we saw inside this film was actually one from our side. So this tells you that PSM is for real. We either store, manage and control our own items of ammunition or arms, and if we don't, then they'll end up in the hands of the terrorists, which can be used against us. It's been a long journey, I should say, beginning 2012, 2013, and we just came in as participants of PSSM, and then thereafter we were selected into the Train of Trainers courses, and they've been ongoing from then up to where we are now. We are now subject matter experts in as far as PSM is concerned. Remember, even as I joined in here, is that I was already an ammunition technical officer in the Kenyan Defense Forces. However, what PSM did is that it brought in an international perspective in terms of arms and ammunition control and management.
For this particular training, we bring in participants from 6 East African countries, namely Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, and South Sudan. IPSTC is a peace support training center that trains participants from all over the world on peace support related and security related courses. This training of trainers program will be handed over to RECSA by the year 2019. So when MSAG pulls out, these trainers who have been trained are the ones who will take over and take PSSM to the next level. IPSTC is the whole institution. Under IPSTC, we have 2 schools. One is PCSS, which is here, and the other one is HPSS, which is there. Participants receive theoretical classes here and practical classes at HPSS.
Yeah, so we're booked in there. This is just normally to be able to monitor who visits and who doesn't.
Yeah, it's good. This is the external security perimeter.
Correct. Correct.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Thanks very much for the visit.
What we're trying to do is develop a core engine that drives responsible weapons and ammunition management in a conflict-affected region.
See that the grass is cut.
You can see,
And
yes.
you have 3 fire extinguishers outside.
Correct.
Over here, there's an external perimeter. There's a
Correct.
fence around this facility as well.
Correct.
The 3 locks on the door. There's lighting, security lighting on the top.
Correct.
There's a fused area for the electrical appliances outside.
And control, correct. As you can see from outside, we know the external security part of it is that there's a sentry, and every few minutes somebody goes around it.
With your permission, is it okay if we enter?
The train-the-trainer approach is trying to develop a core body of African PSSM instructors and reduce the dependence on external actors. When people listen to someone like Justin Pamba, they see someone who is a role model for themselves as opposed to an external actor parachuting in and out and telling them how to follow international standards.
Able to dress it up and say, hey, this belonged here. Because normally, even
by tailoring international standards to local realities, we want to reduce the dependence on external actors and show that this isn't a one-off intervention, but a longer-term sustainable process to create people like Justin Pamba who can take this training back to their own countries, back to their own militaries, as well as teach other countries and other regions more responsible cultures of weapons and ammunition management, particularly in conflict-affected states. PSSM isn't rocket science. It's creating simple measures that have a high impact in limited resource environments.
So should we get a lot number that is CY68, for instance, we'll co-store it here, but on a different stack, just to put it apart.
Ammunition is a chemical compound that deteriorates over time, and there's several factors that can influence the deterioration process.
Yes.
So storing them properly, stacking them to a certain height, and arranging for a flow of air through these stacks is important to prevent them from deteriorating.
Correct.
And therefore, we have been just able to go through countries, Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria, Rwanda, taking up this PSSM message. And therefore, really, there's a great change from the moment I joined in 2012, 2013, up to where I am now today. Yeah.
And are you able to convert the same into the field? So they're all linked up. So even as you do this thing, have a broader mind, just think out of the box, and I think it's going to be fun, all right? So go easy, do what you've been taught, do what you know best, all is well.
Back here, I work with Justin very often.
Yes.
We're back here for the last 3 years running courses in these classrooms on PSSM, so weapons and ammunition management. So I'd really like to thank you first for your participation, and I wish you all the best for this course.
Yeah, you just put the things that you don't need. Because all through the course, we're going to be using a lot of explosives in different scenarios, in different capacities. So here is a task that has been given to them, and it's going to be carried out, and therefore we are just going to be able to see what is happening. So Commander.
Stand by! Firing!
Stand by. You shout stand by.
When you're ready, quiet! Stand by! Firing!
Then you we hear the voice, okay? So it needs to go around.
Yeah. Quiet! Okay, now. Stand by! Fire!
Hi, this is Nikhil. Yeah, we have a meeting to discuss the Nigeria PSSM training. So we're heading into RECSA now. High levels of weapons and ammunition proliferation do not respect international borders. Regional cooperation and sharing knowledge between states and across borders is critical to effective arms control. BICC, together with the support of the German Foreign Office, chose to partner with RECSA to spearhead this process. Over the last 4 years, we've been working to develop a body of PSSM instructors that are meant to serve as the core engine to drive a more responsible culture of weapons and ammunition management on the continent.
Thank you.
When you talk about physical security and stockpile management, that is to say, all arms have to be kept safely and managed and controlled effectively. This is the reason why physical security and stockpile management is a core business for RECSA. Our mandate is to help our member state to come up with managing and control properly the stocks. We have to deal with the management of arms from the import up to the destruction.
My name is Godfrey Bagonza. I work for the Regional Center on Small Arms RECSA. RECSA is the sole institution on the African continent whose mandate is on controlling arms proliferation. The regional approach is good in arms control because arms proliferation knows no political borders or geographical borders. Therefore, tackling the small arms menace within the region requires a regional approach. The advantages that there is, you share experiences and you can share information to track these firearms. With collaboration with MSAG and BICC, we have trained regional instructors whom we are even exporting to other countries beyond RECSA. An example is Nigeria. Our regional instructors have conducted PSSM trainings in Nigeria on the request of the Nigerian government.
So maybe we can go through the agenda.
Okay.
That would be a good point to bring in the practical exercise so they can test the theory that they've learned in the morning.
Exactly.
And we do the practical exercise in the armory at noon.
Where we have Captain Justin, who is actually the
Justin
team
Pamba.
leader. Justin Pamba. So you'll be there with Lieutenant Mari and Captain Stephen.
Banyaga.
Banyaga from Rwanda, Lieutenant Mari from Uganda, and Justin being from Kenyan Defense.
That sounds like a good team, and they all have training in both ammunition and weapons management. So as a team, I think they would work really well together. Yeah, 26. Exactly, 76. Perfect,
one.
that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's ringing now. Hello, Dixon. How are you? This is Eric calling from RECSA. Oh, we are doing well. I'm with Nikhil from BICC. Oh, we want to check on PSSM training that you're planning to have in September in Calabar.
We're doing this. I'm excited. Going to Nigeria to meet my team, Stephen and Silva. They'll be there. So we're going to do this a second time. The first time I was there in Kaduna State, and looks like they've appreciated. The moment they invite us, somebody invites you again, means they really like what you did the first time, and therefore this is just the East meeting the West in terms of sharing expertise, and therefore I'm really excited to be going back there again. Okay, here we continue. The whole of this afternoon we've been looking at man parts, their origins, what they are, how a typical man part looks like, the threats.
I think the training has been going on very well. We're very pleased because we're able to, as usual, assemble people from diverse backgrounds from all security agencies in Nigeria, ranging from the Army to the Navy to the DSLs, so that they could also share experiences while the training is going on. Now, we are very happy that we have our East African brothers here with us. It will also challenge our own people to build their own capacities. And then who knows, someday they will also go out there and help other African countries in facilitating this kind of training. So we're happy with that. The overall PSSM training programs that we've been having with both with the BICC is very important to us because it has availed us the opportunity to enhance the capacity of our officers and men to understand clearly that we need to safeguard our weapons.
This weapon were deactivated in a country with really poor and weak. The main goal is, of course, the security of the population. And PSSM is one part in the big puzzle to improve the security of the population. We start 2011 with a course with only European instructors, but it's somebody from outside. If we can train trainers from the country, so it's somebody who have not only the knowledge, they have the feeling about the country, about the services, and they bring also this experience from this country. Not only the knowledge, but I have also a lot of knowledge. We have also experiences from missions. There were like Justin, for example, in Somalia, in mission.
And he'll come up with a team that will now be retrained into further trainings in future throughout all these classes. But again,
I believe this is a more realistic approach because there can be no by-the-book approach, right? There's no gospel for how to store arms and ammunition. So we need, really local solutions for these problems. And people like Justin, who live every day the military life in Kenya, are much better placed to do that than a soldier from Germany.
It is a special pleasure for me as the representative of BICC and also speaking on behalf of the German government to officially close this 6-day training course.
Followed by Senior Sergeant Dishon, Senior Sergeant Emmanuel. Okay. So even as we share our experiences, we have learned so much from you that we're also going to take back.
He gave and we have to give it back to him.
No, my father used to say you either go by his rules, so you're either in, you're either out, or he runs you over. So we grew up like that, and somehow we made it. We're here, no problem.
إنه ما يحصل أي تسريب
so that we don't lose any ammunition
وتقع هذه المواد الخطرة في أيدي
and this dangerous stuff
غير رسمية أو غير مسؤولة وده بيستتبع طبعا
this
اللي هي المفروض تكون جيدة خطورة هذه المواد من المفرقعات والذخائر.
These explosive ammunitions are very dangerous. We know that they are very hazardous and serious, very dangerous.
بيخلي التعامل معاه يكون حذر.
That's why we are taking every precaution while dealing with it.
صرفها بيكون بحسابات دقيقة جدا.
Even the issuance is done very carefully. We put every kind of ammunition separately. When we put them together, they do not exceed 2 meters.
وبتوجد ممرات داخلية بين كل رصة والثانية لسهولة الصرف والتهوية.
To allow for air circulation and for easy issuing.
It is small arms.
دي أسلحة صغيرة يعني.
What we taught is quite okay.
So the primer here, these are the primary, these are the propeller charges. These are meant to propel this ammunition to the target. It penetrates the target and then it explodes.
155 caliber of ammunition.
Projectile, yes.
The whole point of this course is on physical security and stockpile management. Your practical exercise will be tomorrow. So today, these two lessons are what you will need to keep in your mind tomorrow when you're inside the armory.
بوت 84 بوت 94 3 طبعا هذا 82 وفي 60 اقل طبعا و 120
إذا في فرق بين ديك وديك لا ما معروف.
مركز بون BICC بون International Center for Propagation والمركز الإقليمي للسيطرة على الأسلحة الصغيرة والخفيفة RECSA.
Having received this training,
بعد تلقيها بهذا التدريب
you now have a responsibility to prevent arms under lawful authority from being diverted.
لديكم مسؤولية تقع على عاتقكم يعني بالحماية ومنع أن تتسرب الأسلحة إلى أيدي الخطر من مخازنكم.
You also have a responsibility to reduce the risk of unplanned explosions.
أيضا لديكم
There is a lot to be done in the PSSM. We have 16 RECSA instructors who can train in the RECSA region. We have already exported them to other regions. It is important to train more instructors across the African continent.
What I can say is we cannot achieve this in a single day. It's going to take time. But at the end of the day, I believe we shall reach there.